and thank you for being here. I am Sheriff Christina Corpus. I would like to start by offering my heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims, their co-workers, the coastal community, and the city of Half Moon Bay. This kind of shooting is horrific. It's a tragedy that we hear about far too often, but today it's hit home here in San Mateo County. Today at 2:22 p.m., sheriff's deputies were dispatched to the 12700 block of San Mateo Road, Highway 92, in unincorporated San Mateo County, on the report of a shooting with multiple victims. Upon arrival, deputies located 4 victims deceased with gunshot wounds. A 5th victim, also suffering from a gunshot wound, was transported to Stanford Medical Center with life-threatening injuries. The suspect was not immediately located. Shortly thereafter, 3 additional victims were also located deceased with gunshot wounds at a separate shooting scene in the 2100 block of Cabrillo Highway South. The motive for the shooting is currently unknown. Through investigation, the suspect, identified as Chung Lee Zhao, a 67-year-old Half Moon Bay resident. At 4:40 p.m., Zhao was located in his vehicle in the parking lot of the sheriff's substation here in Half Moon Bay by a sheriff's deputy. Zhao was taken into custody without incident. Community and the families touched by this unspeakable act of violence. I would like to thank our local law enforcement agency partners, allied agencies including CAL FIRE and EMS, the City of Half Moon Bay, and our federal and state partners. I would also like to commend the deputy sheriffs for safely taking the suspect into custody. I will take questions at the end of this conference. Now I would like to turn it over to San Mateo County Board of...
Completely unacceptable levels. It's really hit home tonight. Our hearts are broken. We are deeply grateful for law enforcement for their work this evening. But in the end, there are simply too many guns in this country, and there has to be a change. This is not an equal way for modern society to live and conduct its affairs. And we are do everything in our power to make those changes. I'd like now to introduce my colleague Ray Mueller, who represents this area on the Board of Supervisors.
Thank you, President Pine. And I just first want to start off by thanking our law enforcement officers today for their bravery in apprehending the suspect as quickly as possible. My heart, first off, I just want to say on behalf of the community how much our hearts are broken tonight. There were farm workers affected tonight. There were children on the scene at the incidents. This is a truly heartbreaking tragedy in our community, and it comes on the eve of what happened just obviously yesterday, and then just weeks after natural hazard events, which have really struck this community. So the one thing I want to say out to the people who are out there, who live here, who are watching, is please take advantage of the mental health crisis counseling that is available out there. The amount of stress that's been on this community for weeks is really quite high. If there's people out there who are suffering from this, who are feeling the effects of it, please reach out and get help tonight. You are not alone. We have counseling services available at the Ides Hall here in Half Moon Bay. If you can reach out to us on the county hotline, but we want to make sure that people know that they are not alone and that we are here for you this evening. And then, as Supervisor Pine said, in the days and the weeks ahead of us, we really have to come together and figure out how to go ahead and wrap our arms around getting to address this problem of gun violence, which has afflicted our state here in recent days and has afflicted us here at home. It's something that's unimaginable to happen here in Half Moon Bay and frankly here in San Mateo County. So with that, I'd like to go ahead and introduce you all to my good friends, Half Moon Bay Vice Mayor Joaquin Jimenez.
Thank you. First of all, I want to extend my condolences to the families that lost a loved one today, and to bring to offer the support to all the families and the farm workers that were affected, that were present at the location of the shooting. And then I would like to thank, our local law enforcement for the rapid response and the emergency team. The city of Half Moon Bay, after being affected by the floods, as you know, at the beginning of the year, the farmer community was affected. Now we are offering our support, mental health support. The teams of Half Moon Bay, the city of Half Moon Bay, collaboration with mental health teams of nonprofit organizations, are put at one of our local halls that will be receiving the families. This is something that we get to watch on the news. Never think that it's going to come and hit home. Today, we're on the news. Our community has been affected. And again, I want to thank our law enforcement. As soon as we heard about the shooting, we heard the sirens, of our law enforcement has done great for us. There's really not much I can say, about the pain that we're feeling right now. We know that the community is being greatly affected. We have been receiving phone calls, text messages from family members wanting to know information, either family members, their relatives are okay. We hope they are. We hope they will soon be reunited. And we are here to support them, support every step, especially the children that were present when the shooting happened. And hoping that this will be an eye-opener, what is going on in our community about gang violence and gun violence. So let's think about this and how we're going to be responding to the families who have been affected. Thank you.
Can I open it up for questions at this time?
Hi there. Lauren from the CBS News Bay Area. You mentioned that you can't tell us the motive at this time. What else can you tell us about the suspect?
State of the city.
Making news right now.